So we're back with another full review of a new release in the men's fragrance community. I already did my first impressions on this before I went on my 2-week hiatus. And it is the last one from the first round of new releases that I needed to do a full review on. By Givenchy, this is Gentleman Society. And so today, that's what we're going to be doing, my full review. So without further ado, let's get it. Alright, my great smelling dudes, welcome back to my channel. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with another fragrance review and a full review of a brand new release that came out in 2023. So we had a bunch of new releases for the first 2 months of the year. I did all of the full reviews except for 1 Million Royal. That one I didn't review because it hasn't been out in my stores. I heard some bad things about it or some just meddling things, so I didn't pick it up. I did first impressions of all the ones that I did pick up that are in stores, and except for the only full review I didn't get to before my 2-week hiatus was this one. And so today we are going to be reviewing by Givenchy. It is Givenchy Gentleman Society. So in my first impression of this fragrance, I told you that it was good, but it was more along the lines of basic. It smells good. It's definitely wearable. It's a safe bet. I said all that good stuff, so has it changed for me? Well, I'm going to let you know that in just a second. Before I do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are new to my channel, definitely subscribe and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. So we're just going to get straight into it. Let me give you a feel of the note breakdown because I don't do that in my first impression. So the top notes in Givenchy Gentleman Society are cardamom and sage. The mid notes are narcissus, Haitian vetiver, and Madagascar vetiver. And the base is vanilla, palo santo, and cedar. So I do want to get it out of the way. You would think that because in the mid, they give you not only one type of vetiver, they give you two types of vetiver. They give you the Haitian vetiver and they also give you the Madagascar vetiver. You would think there would be some kind of either smokiness or dryness from the vetiver or something that would really stand out to you as, hey, this is a vetiver heavy fragrance. But I'm surprised because if I do get any vetiver, it's so small that I can hardly even smell it. The main parts of this fragrance, once you get past the opening, is vanilla and palo santo. When you first spray this on, if you don't know what the Givenchy Gentleman line smells like, most of them revolve around iris. So iris, orris, whatever, and they're mostly, and I mean mostly because there is the Eau de Toilette Intense and the Eau de Toilette that are more on the fresher all-season side. But then you have the Eau de Parfum, the Boisé, the Reserve Privé that are all more of that denser, a little bit deeper, more of your sweeter fall and winter style fragrances with that iris and some sort of sweetness, whether it's booze or chocolate or whatever it is. That's what they usually revolve around. And a lot of people were hoping they would go back to those all-season, more fresh fragrance. And while this doesn't really go the route of fresh, to where you're like, oh my god, that's a summer fragrance, this is going to be more of your all-season wear because it is more, it doesn't have that heavy iris. There is a little slight bit of iris in the opening, so if you guys were hoping there was going to be no iris in there, there is a very slight bit in the opening, but then it goes away after about 2 minutes, and then there is no iris in the fragrance. So as soon as you spray this on, you get some aromatics. You get that narcissus in there. It's a little bit florally, but it is still a little bit sweet because you get that vanilla under there. You also do get a fresh spiciness from that cardamom coming in. The cardamom's never heavy. The narcissus is never heavy. It's just really just a nice, slightly fresh, almost spring style fragrance. I would say the best seasons for this are transitional seasons. That's spring into fall. But I would say spring is probably the season that they really aim for this for, which is why they released it in January and February. As you get about 5 to 10 to 15 minutes into the fragrance, that's when you get that slight bit of vetiver, and then it's woody. You get that Palo Santo, and that Palo Santo comes in. It's almost like a lighter woods, almost like a sandalwood. If you guys don't know what Palo Santo smells like, in my first impressions, I don't do notes, so I wasn't sure if this was sandalwood or Palo Santo because they do come across very similar to me. And that mixes together with that slight touch of vetiver, that fresh spiciness from the opening that's starting to dissipate, and then you get that vanilla. That vanilla comes in and it really just turns the table with the fragrance, and it is a woody vanilla scent from the maybe 10-minute mark for the rest of the fragrance. That is what the fragrance is. So if you spray this on in a store, go walk around for about 10 minutes, and then you can figure out exactly what this smells like, or you can smell the atomizer, because the atomizer smells exactly what the entire fragrance smells like outside of the opening 10 minutes. If you were to go into a store and spray this on your hand, then you would get that opening and you would think it would smell a little bit different than what you would expect to smell like whenever this one dries down. It's really simple. It's a basic fragrance, and I still believe that. I said it was like a 6.5 or a 7 in my opening, and I think it is more around the lines of a 7.5, because this isn't a kind of meddling fragrance that is going to not get you compliments. It's not going to be mass appealing. I think that this is a really good fragrance for what it does, but it's very linear in the fact that it doesn't really change much after that 10-minute mark. It's just woods, vanilla, a slight bit of spice underneath. That is really the entire fragrance. If you like that style of fragrance, you like that singularity in the fragrance, that's probably what it is. It's just woods and vanilla, and you can smell both of them. You can smell it. It's a little bit woody, well, a lot of bit woody and very vanilla. It's not like a sweet vanilla. There's a little bit of powder in the vanilla, so it's not your creaminess. It would be more of like a powdery vanilla that you would get in something like a Versace Eros or whatnot. Well, it does not smell like Eros at all. I'm just giving you an example. As far as the performance of this fragrance, so again, you would wear this in the spring and fall, mostly spring, but you could also wear it in the summer. It's more of a daytime fragrance, but you can wear it however you want, like I always say. Overall, I would say that this is probably a 5 to 6 hour fragrance. It doesn't last more than that. It doesn't last less than that. It's a moderate projector across the board. It's never in your face, but it's never too light where you can't smell it. I think overall the performance is very good, because this type of fragrance, most of the Givenchys linger around 6 to 8 hours, and that one is no different. Again, it's more of the fresher style. It doesn't really fit into the line, in my opinion, because the rest of the line, they are those iris, but I like the change. I like the change, to be honest. I've never been a huge Givenchy Gentleman fan. My wife does like this. She said compared to the other Givenchys, which she doesn't like that powdery iris style fragrance. And again, I don't mind them. It's just not something I would pull over others. This one does something a little bit different because it's just woods and vanilla. If you like woods and vanilla, you like this fragrance. I wouldn't pay more than like $80 or $70 for this fragrance. But overall, the presentation changed a little bit. You got the black bottle with the Givenchy logo, but it's taller. So if you wanted to have a collection of these that look very similar, this one is not going to do it because it's taller than all the other bottles. So if you put it behind it, it's taller. If you put it in front of them, you can't see the rest. So anyway, that is Givenchy Gentleman Society. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with me, if it's kind of just like an average fragrance. It's one that you're going to get compliments on, but it's nothing that's going to wow you or make you want to wear it all the time, but it's still a good fragrance. Again, woods, vanilla, you get some of that aromatics and the French narcissus in the opening, as well as a little bit of fresh spiciness into the woods and vanilla. That's the fragrance. So, all right, let me know in the comments again, and I'll be back with another video tomorrow. Peace out.